describing it in terms of supernatural. And if you haven't watched the most recent episode, the season 9 finale, you probably want to pause halfway through because you're going to really be spoiled.
Alright, so the Pygmalion effect is one kind of self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is a phenomenon where high expectations lead to high performance.
Another self-fulfilling prophecy, which is kind of the opposite of the Pygmalion effect, is the Golem effect. So with that, poor expectations lead to poor performance.
Rosenthal and Jacobson conducted a study which demonstrates how powerful self-fulfilling prophecies and expectations can be.
So what they did was they had teachers in elementary schools, and they had their students take this TOGA test, which was just a test of intelligence. And then they told the teachers that some of the students did exceedingly well, and that the others were just like, eh. So they measured how the students performed at the end of the year based on how their teachers saw them.
And what they found was that the students, because it was random, the test wasn't an accurate representation of their IQ, but the teachers who thought the students that were going to do really well actually did really well at the end of the year test, whereas the students who the teachers were like, oh, look out for these kids, they're not going to do so well, they're probably going to have poor performance, they actually did a lot worse at the end of the year. So both the expectations came true.
Yeah, so that exactly demonstrates these self-fulfilling prophecies, where Pygmalion, the kids who were expected to do well, did well, and the ones who were expected to do poor, did poor, like the Golem effect.
Now we're going to tie this all into supernatural. So if you remember in the beginning couple seasons, Dean Winchester, his dad had really high expectations for him. He always wanted him to be the perfect hunter, take care of your little brother Sammy, all this stuff. He just had really high expectations. And as the show progresses, you learn that Dean didn't live up to these high expectations. He became the perfect soldier, the perfect hunter. Of course it had its costs, but he lived up to the expectations of his father.
So for the Golem effect, this is a little bit of a stretch, but bear with me. Okay, so in episode 310, Dream a Little Dream of Me, you might remember when when Dean Winchester encounters a dream version of himself, and they have a bit of a confrontation. And during this, Dean shoots Dream Dean, and he dies. But then Dream Dean comes back, and he's like, "You're gonna die, and this is what you're gonna become," right? And his eyes turn black, and he's a demon. So we've seen that part of Dean's self set this expectation for him that he was going to die and he was going to become a demon. And season 9 spoiler, he dies and he wakes up and he's a demon. So the Golem effect happened to sweet little Dean Winchester.
There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary head to rest. Don't you cry no more.